Hey guys, welcome back to the bean yard. So today we are going to start putting supers on the two nooks that we got earlier in the year. These guys are doing exceptionally well, and it looks like they're at the stage of bringing in honey that realistically I can certainly start to harvest later in the year. So a little bit of smoke just to drive these guys down a bit, and then we will take off the top. Now these guys came as an overwintered colony, which simply means they survived last winter, and we're starting to get a certain amount of activity here in the second box that we put in, which they are slowly beginning to draw out. And they're putting away, they're drawing comb, and they're putting resources away. So what we want is we want the queen to stay in these two boxes. We don't want her in the super. So we have what's called a queen excluder, and we will put this box on top of the excluder so that when these guys really start working, like this one here, then we will have a place to put the honey that we're extracting. And while we're here, I'm also going to put an extra brood box on top of the Russian hybrid bees that came as the package in the white hive. So these guys are about done. This one here we're still having some issues with, but it's not as bad as it was. So I'll check them in the next few days before, and of course my smoker isn't smoking as well as I would like it. So let's go around the back here and take off this strap. And then we're going to lift this lid up, give them a little bit of smoke. There we go. And let's see how these guys are actually doing. So they are very, very busy. This is us into the second box, and it looks like they're also drawing out a lot of the comb, as you can see. We're not going to really inspect these guys because there's really no need to. We're just going to put a queen excluder on the top, and as its name suggests, that kind of keeps the queen where we want her, because we don't want her laying in the honey super. And then we will put this box on top. And oops, we will button her back up again. There we go. I think my Russians are actually ready for a second brood box. So let's have a wee look, see how they're doing. Yeah, I need to get my smoker running again. And of course, okay, so we don't really need it running for a long amount of time, just enough to get into this hive and see what's happening. And give them a little bit of smoke at the entrance, just to clear them away. And then we'll take the strap off. Now, this is what you want to see. You want to see a hive that's active, and these guys are definitely active. Ooh. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we're missing a frame. So we should be able to put another frame in here, which I will do in a second. Which of course, I didn't bring the extra frames down, did I? Because I'm an idiot. So we're not going to have them open for long. Just long enough to put the extra brood box on. Alright guys, here's an extra frame. Which, to be honest, is not going to fit. There we go, we have got our 9 frames in. We gave these guys some extra sugar water the other day there, and I'm sure they've probably drank most of it down. Which of course is really what you want, and as you can see they're ripping the paper here on the pollen patties. They're actually eating a fair bit of the patty. Let's see how we're doing with this one. Overall, they really don't seem to be that keen on this one. Not sure why. But this is the Russian hybrid hive. As packages go, these guys are doing very well. Now let me see it out. I didn't bring the extra brood box down, did I? Yes, because I'm an idiot. So we've got extra frames. Which we will put up here because we don't need, and then we will bring this box down here. I do need an extra frame, which I think I have here. Do I have any spacers? Yes, I have a spacer. Okay. So, oops, these are my workers. Oops, we squished a bee. That's always unfortunate. Alright, so that's about as squared up as we're going to get. Now, hopefully, over the next month or so, these guys will expand the brood chamber into this section, and the queen will move up and start to lay. Okay, we are pretty much done. The other thing we need to do today is we need to check on this hive. Let's see how we're doing with these guys here, who unfortunately have not really done nearly as well as I would like them to do. And in the last video we were checking on the status of the new queen that we put in here. So let's see if they've released her today. Hopefully they have. So again, they really don't seem to be that impressed with these patties. Okay, let's move this. I mean, they are kind of working on it, just not doing nearly as much as I would like. Let's move this one over here, and then we're going to come around this side. So this is the replacement frame of nurse bees and capped brood that I gave them. And the rubber bands here are the cage that I put the queen on. So I would like to have a look and see how... Oh no. Okay, we've got some activity here. And we've got some wonky comb. Now, this can be an issue with frames that haven't been adequately waxed. So let's see what we've got happening here. Is she out? Well, I don't think she is. So they're fanning. So I think we're going to have to actually help her come out of the cage. Which means, come on guys, you're going to have to move for me. So the queen's still in there. There's a fair bit of nougat. But it looks, I'm not seeing any aggressive behaviour. I'm seeing fanning. Yeah, absolutely no aggressive behaviour at all. So that's what we want to see. I'm going to give her another day or so, and if she's not out, then we will actually have to help her get out. Okay, so let's push these frames together, and then we'll put this one back down, and we will put this back in. So this is the medication for varroa. That we put in a couple of weeks ago. So we'll put this back on. And then we'll put the lid back on, and then we are done. And we don't have to come in here again for at least another week, beyond checking on this queen over the next few days. Oh, the lid's a bit squint. There we go. Okay, and we are pretty much done. Thanks for watching, guys.